Hey, what's up, good people? Eric Taylor, Taylor 2 Coaching. And I am here talking to you today about some of my new services with Big 3 Astrology. So 3 of them, and I want to kind of like break it down and explain it. So for your career and relationships, right? I work with so many clients doing their birth charts and stuff. And a lot of people want to know about their career and their relationships. Makes sense. Not anything different from most astrologers with their experience. And some people just want to know their whole 12 house chart, right? So you hit me up and email me at tailor2coaching@gmail.com. And I break all that down, my full 12 house report and 40 to 50 minute custom video summary. It's $150. Same with numerology, same with my synastry compatibility charts, okay? And my Big 3 Astrology is where I just look at, it's like, mini birth chart, and so all these other new services. I do your sun, moon, rising sign, ascendant, and those energies together, the way they vibrate, usually after 30, will tell you your part of fortune. So it will be in a sign in your 12 house zodiac wheel, and a sign and a house where you have the part of fortune. Mine is in Pisces in the 5th house. So it just shows you where the energy vibrates and you have a lot of blessings and opportunities. You're, some people call it the lot of fortune, part of fortune. Okay, and that's only $50. So I'm doing for a career and relationship focus, a mini chart, $75. For just your, work and career, you just want to know that, okay? It's $35, mini birth chart. The same thing for a mini birth chart for just love and relationships, $35, okay? So just to explain what I look at, okay? So obviously you're looking at, for the career, you're looking at your midheaven. Now I use the whole sign system. Your midheaven can be your 9th house, your 10th house, your 11th house, okay? In the Placidus, it's mainly it's mainly going to be the 10th house for the MC midheaven, right? And then that would put the IC in the 4th house. But I find the whole sign, my astrology teachers and, most experience that I've gotten in doing clients, I find that it's better to use the whole sign system. It's more predictive and it shows more clear. So for example, if you're a Virgo ascendant, your 12th house would be Leo, and your 2nd house of your gains, values, and assets, right, would be Libra. When you do the Placidus, there can be what they call interceptions, and it kind of confuses the chart, dissolves the energy. Not saying that it's not accurate, this is Western tropical, not the Vedic. But when you do that, you could be a Virgo ascendant and then have Libra in the 2nd and the 3rd. Well, what happens if you have Mars in Libra? Which house do you put it in? 2nd or 3rd? Do you understand where it can get confusing in the placements? And it just throws it off. So when I'm doing your chart reading, I will, show you your Placidus, but I will take some of that energy. The degrees and the signs are going to be the same. It's about where they're placed in the chart. But I'll look at the whole sign system in terms of breaking down your chart and doing the reading, okay? So with the career, I'm looking at your midheaven, whether it's the 9th, 10th, 11th house. And if it is in the 11th or 9th house, I'll still look at your 10th house to see what that energy is, right? My midheaven's in Virgo in the 11th house. So I still look at the 10th house Leo, because that still shows where I need to, be on video on YouTube, talking about my, company, my business, right? Doing my acting, doing my music, right? I've recorded a couple albums. I've done television, film, and theater, been on stage, New York Times, Broadway, television and film, okay? Did my own movie, Hate the Game, where I co-wrote, casted, second AD, co-starred in it, right? You can find it on Fandango, Hate the Game. When I wrote it, it was titled Final City, but the producers changed the name. So these are just examples, right? So you will also look at the 2nd house, the 3rd house, the 7th house, and I'll look at your chart ruler. So let's say if you are a Gemini rising, your chart ruler is Mercury, right? So that tells me the theme of your chart, and you're very verbal, right? Communication is important. So you need to look at the ascendant, because then you know the chart rulership. So let's just say if you're a Gemini rising, I look at your second house, right, which will be Cancer, right? So how you value money, your family assets, your self-worth. You look at the third house of your writing, communication, learning skills, your efforts, your athletic ability, okay? If we stick with the Gemini ascendant, that will be Leo, all right? So you could be very magnetic in your local community. The seventh house, the opposite of Gemini, will be Sagittarius. So this is the other half, right, for relationships and marriage. But we're still talking about career. It's also contracts, negotiations, business, sales, the marketplace. Okay, and then you're talking about the MC, the midheaven. So this is for career. And so you break all these things down. You look at the planet placements, all this stuff. In astrology, you never look at one piece of the puzzle. You put all the pieces together, analyze it, research it, investigate it, okay? And then it tells the story. It's all this snapshot of when you came out of your mother's womb, whether it was, cesarean or just straight up vaginal birth. Either way, as soon as you take that first breath, your ascendant, your rising sign, is where the sun was at the eastern horizon at that point, okay? So if it was in, for me, Scorpio, okay, it's the time that I chose to be born, to be a Scorpio ascendant. So it's very important to understand this. Everything tells a story, and it's very detailed. So, and then I can also look at your sixth house of your daily routine and work, okay? All these things together can show me and break down your career. You can look at your North Node, which is your destiny, your life's purpose, right? You can marry that energy together, and it's so much information, blow you away, so detailed. Now, if we're just, and then that's $75 if I combine that with the relationships, and then for just one of them, it's $35 a piece. For the relationships, we're looking at your Juno. This is your energy, right? This asteroid of, who, the type of person you might want to marry, and the sign explains that, but the house will sort of tell you how you can meet or the energy of that person, okay? And so, but we're going to look at, for a woman's chart, we're going to look at your Jupiter and your Mars, right? And your Venus and your seventh house, okay? And of course, the chart ruler, right? Let's say you're the Cancer ascendant, right? So the moon is your chart ruler. So then I have to look where the moon is in your chart. If it's in the sixth house, right? Maybe you're a nurse. And after the Cancer, the opposite, the seventh house, your DC, right? The ascendant is the AC, right? The ASC. The DC, the opposite, the seventh house, the other half of relationships and marriage, would be, after the opposite of Cancer, is Capricorn. So you want to maybe an older, mature partner, someone who is about, you're about safety and security. Well, the Capricorn's about making the money, structure, maturity, discipline, restrictions. You could get married after 32 years old. So I break that down for the client, letting them understand what their Juno is, their Venus, their Jupiter, their Mars, their seventh house, and look at other aspects of the chart, looking at the rulership of each house, right? So maybe you have Jupiter in your seventh house, but it's Capricorn there, right? So Saturn could bring delays, but then the Jupiter could tell the story of the type of partner you might meet, right? Someone who's got strong beliefs, strong faith, philosophical, spiritual, very wise, an older, mature, wise person with a lot of knowledge, maybe a college professor. There's so many things and so many aspects to look at and break down. So it takes time, okay? But it is fantastic information. And then in a man's chart, right? The Mars will be his action, his drive, his willpower, his sex drive. But for the man, I'm going to look at the Juno, the Venus, the seventh house, the first house, the chart ruler. You know, you look at the 11th house. You know, this is your friends group. So, you know, your gains. Now you'll look at that for the money, for the 11th, for the career. But the 11th house is also your social networks. Sometimes you are friends first, right? And opposing, you look at the 5th house because that's dating and romance. All right. So there's, you know, planets to look at. Mercury, it's important how you communicate. But, you know, you want to look at the Venus and the Jupiter and the Mars. 5th, 7th, 8th house is after the marriage. Okay. The first house. And, you know, the 11th house can be important too. And you can see sometimes divorce in the 6th house. You could see a love relationship at work in the 10th house, right? You know, there's so many different things to look for in certain aspects. So it's important. Look, check out tailored2coaching.com, okay? And it's tailored to the number 2, the letter U, coaching.com. But also just email me, tailored2coaching@gmail.com. And I'm ready, you know? And I've been blessing so many clients, and I understand that some people don't want to pay the full $150 to get their chart done. It's totally worth it. You can ask my clients, right? I've been in Canada and over 23 states now in the US doing charts. But some people don't want to know every aspect. They just want to know career, just want to know relationship, marriage. What's fascinating with the marriage, I can also see if you're on your second or third marriage, right? So for the second marriage, the first marriage is seen in the 7th house. Your second marriage, you see that, and significators for that in the 9th house, okay? The third marriage, you go to the 11th house. The fourth marriage, I think you look at a sample chart, you can see it. I think it's Drew Barrymore. Maybe she's been married 4 times. That would be the first house, and so on. So it's all in your chart. You can't escape it, okay? And I know some people have questions and doubts, and I would tell you, watch my video about explaining, you know, for myself. I know because of my life experiences, my father was murdered when I was 6 years old. It's in my birth chart. I can't make that up. It's literally in my chart, okay? In my 11th house. So for me, Eric Taylor, I don't have any questions or doubts anymore. It doesn't take away from my spirituality, my beliefs, my faith, okay? And you always have to put God first. And you need to understand that God didn't just create the earth. He created the entire universe, every planet. And the vibrations of the energy of the astrology and the numerology, because I use the numerology, because I look at the degrees, they tell a story of your life. It all matters. And you can see the past, the present, the future, right? That 4th house tells me how you were raised, your home life. All right. 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th house about your going to school, your education growing up. All right. Your values, what you were taught, how you were nourished, how you were neglected, how you were abused. And I can help you heal. I mean, I do a lot of psychological work with my clients and giving you pointers, tips, and advice. And if you want, you can join my coaching programs. We could even look at medical astrology. You know, I haven't set up a separate service for that, but if I find that people are interested, I will, where I'm just looking at your health. I do chronic illness coaching, so I do that in my program with clients. But from head to toe, you can learn about your body and where you have sicknesses and illnesses or where you're prone to them. All right, Aries starts from the head and Pisces goes to the feet. and then different planets, right? Neptune is disease, Pluto is virus, Mars is like surgery, blood, cuts, bumps, bruises. It's all real. It's all there. So please reach out to your boy, Eric Taylor, Taylor to You Coaching, and try my new services, my new mini birth chart readings. Career and relationships, $75. Just career, $35. Just relationships, $35. The Big Three Astrology, only $50. Sun, Moon, and Ascendant and Part of Fortune. The Synastry, the numerology, and your full 12 house, report and custom video is $150. It's a steal. You look around, a lot of astrologers, you can see prices going from $2,000, $3,000, $5,000. So take advantage of this Virgo who's still building his business, but got a lot of experience, done a lot of charts with the Scorpio Ascendant and Capricorn Moon, who's going to be very disciplined, very hardworking, very structured, very investigative in digging up the truth and helping you to transform to be the best version of yourself on this journey called life. All right? And I'd be honored to do your birth chart. Everything is private and everything is about blessing and helping you. All right? Hit your boy up and let's get it going. You might have to get online. I'm busy working with a lot of clients, but the faster you email me and contact me, I can get to you and get your chart going. God bless you. Have a wonderful day. Eric Taylor, Taylor to You Coaching. Peace. Big Three Astrology. Yeah. Oh, you're gonna get some insight. You're gonna learn. You're gonna to know yourself through astrology, and to go with the flow and energy of your chart. It makes life so much easier. Even as a parent, and I have plenty of parents and grandparents who've gotten chart readings for their children and grandkids. They love it, and it's a blessing. It's made me a better parent too. Dealing with the mindset and emotions and energies of my boys. I have 4 sons. Trust me when I tell you, it's knowledge you need and help guide them through life. Taylor to You Coaching.